Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to everybody who is joining us this morning. As always, Adham, Beydoun, Jeff, Iafrate, and then, of course, there is Fish, unfortunately, who does work here.
Oh, I don't know. I've been...
Fortunately.
You can say unfortunately.
Happy Friday, buddy.
Happy Friday. Very excited. We have ball games today. We have World Cup this weekend. We have darts right now. Life couldn't be any better. Lions this weekend, Pistons,
life
Red
could
Wings.
be a lot better. There is one
Life could
thing.
be better.
There is one thing. Last night, the San Francisco 49ers beat the Seattle Seahawks.
Didn't they do what you wanted?
They absolutely
All
not
you
only
Lion
made
fans
me
wanted
money,
the 49ers.
but they have totally legitimized this potential playoff run. The Seahawks are now 7-7. The Lions are 6-7.
Right behind them.
A win in New York. Hell, forget New York. This is starting to really become in their own hands. They actually have a chance, and I find it to be unbelievably incredible.
They just see the Giants.
Seattle's schedule doesn't get any better.
And the Giants and Commanders play each other this week.
One of them's going to lose.
Yep.
And they both still have to play Philly, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Giants do. Yes.
There is a problem on that schedule for both teams, all these teams. And then who do the Lions play in the last three? It's not really just about this week. It's Carolina, it's Chicago,
on the road.
It's Green Bay. You should be able to win those games. I do think this game against the Jets is going to be a tricky one. I don't think it's as easy as a lot of people think, just because the offense in Detroit, which has been amazing all year, I still find a lot of, I talk about this all the time, solutions. What type of solutions do you offer to slow down this Detroit Lions offense? And I think the Jets pose a lot of solutions, more than most teams have had all season. So it's going to be a tough game. But the Seahawks losing is everything.
Yes.
And now a 9-8 record could get you in, but you need help. But 10-7, it gets you in.
And
Because Seattle's not winning 10 games. And you know for a fact Washington or New York after this Sunday, likely one of them may win 10. The other might not. This is very interesting.
I really do believe if they could beat the Jets, I think the rest they're going to win out. It's really the Jets are the hardest test for them to end the season. And just check the practice report. Quinnen Williams in practice again. So that's looking good. He might play regardless, but didn't really practice at all this week. And then you have Mike White, who's been limited all week, still dealing with that rib injury. So, again, see what the weather looks like. I know it was supposed to be on the better side of things. I didn't check it in the last 2 days. But, hey, if the weather's friendly and you got some players that are out, like Quinnen Williams, that's going to help them significantly.
You, as in Detroit, are going to have so much help. Because the Commanders play the Giants, right? And let's say the Commanders win. Okay. So they're 8-5-1. Then they have to play on the road at the Niners. That's a loss. Home to Cleveland. That's not an easy game.
No.
And then home to Dallas. That's a tough game as well. These teams aren't finishing off with, oh man, that's an easy schedule down the stretch. And then you see the Giants. The Giants down the stretch. They play Washington. And then it's Minnesota. For whatever you think of Minnesota, it's still a tough out.
Yep.
They get the Colts. That's very doable for them. And then it's on the road to Philly. In a game where maybe Philly's resting. Maybe Philly is resting some starters. And they're only going to play a half. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? So the Giants and Commanders have a very difficult schedule ahead of them. More so the Commanders than the Giants. And then you look at the Seahawks. I still think they have to play the Chiefs.
They do. Yes, they do.
It's not getting easier for them. So 8 losses seems to me like a guarantee for the Seahawks. I think you'll be able to jump the Seahawks 2 weeks from now. Mm-hmm. It's whether or not Washington and New York can fall off. And it seems like Washington is the more likely of the two. So if you were to root for a team this week, you'd want to root for the Giants. Because if the Giants win, it doesn't get any easier for the Commanders. And then they go and play the Niners next week. It does not get any easier. So if you're going to root for a team, I think it's got to be the Giants, no?
No, you're right. Especially considering the fact that, regardless, the Lions have beaten both these teams. They beat the Commanders early in the year. They beat the Giants as well. So, yeah, I would say just like Lions fans were 49ers fans last night, you might need to be Giants fans this weekend. Got to hand them losses now. I think the Lions, out of all these teams, it's clear as day. They have the easiest schedule. I mean, I hate we're using that word easy, but if you look at it, Jets, toughest opponent. You go to Carolina, you play Chicago and Green Bay. Chicago and Green Bay, I think, are wins, in my opinion. They're the better team. And then Carolina, I hate using the word trap game. They have a great defense. I still think they could beat Carolina. The Jets are the real one for me, with Mike White. Because Mike White, clearly he's better than Zach White, levels above him. So Zach Wilson, excuse me. Yeah. So we'll see.
I got you.
Big test this weekend on the road.
This is everything. And what do we want before the season? Huh? All we wanted was mid-December, late December. Could you play a meaningful game where if you won, it would make things interesting, but nobody was putting playoff expectations on you this year? Okay. And they're doing that. And with the Seattle loss and hopefully a Commanders loss, this is real.
Yeah.
This is real. And look, 9-8 is still a problem because of that stupid fucking tie.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big problem. The Giants and the Commanders only need to win 2 more games, and they're in. Under any circumstance, except if you win out. If you win out, you're in. It is a 99% probability, in my opinion. If you win out, you're in.
Yeah.
Having said that, you lose, let's say, one of the next 4 games, and you go 3-1. You are essentially asking the Giants or the Commanders, because one of them is going to win likely on Sunday. You're asking them to finish 1-3 and the other team to finish 2-2, and then you get in. And you're praying both of them don't win 2 more games the rest of the year. But it is possible.
Yeah, it's also possible.
Especially for the Giants. It's very easy for the Giants. And even if the Giants lose, that's the worst case scenario if you're a Lions fan.
Yeah.
Because then the Commanders have 8 wins. And they only need to win 1 of 3. And the Giants have a much friendlier schedule down the stretch. So this is going to get really interesting, man.
Mm-hmm.
This can get really interesting. Let's talk about Let's talk about Kyle Shanahan. I want to cheese on him a little bit.
Yeah, as you should.
We did a preseason poll. Ranked our top 10 coaches in the NFL. And I had Kyle at 3 at the time. This is before the season started. And I got a lot of backlash. He's got a losing record. Can't win without Jimmy Garoppolo. Overrated as a coach. All the bullshit I had to hear before the season. Kyle Shanahan is that team. He embodies that team. And whether it was Nick Mullins, whether it was Jimmy Garoppolo, whether it was Trey Lance, and now you see Brock Purdy, it doesn't matter. Don't turn the ball over. I can handle the rest. That is exactly what Kyle Shanahan does.
Right.
Hey, dipshit, meaning their quarterback, whoever it is. Hey, buddy, don't throw interceptions. We're going to win this game. Hit your checkdowns, hit the slant routes, hit the underneath routes, nothing cute. Throw the football accurately, hand the ball off. That's all I need you to do. That is, honestly, could I make the case last night? We watched the best defense in the NFL since Legion of Boom? Since the early 2000 Baltimore Ravens?
Yeah, this defense is legit.
This is a very, very scary defense. They pulled up the graphic last night.
Yeah.
And when it showed the splits, it was like 15 points a game, 70 yards rushing a game.
280 total yards.
Something total yards. Yep, under 200 total yards a game. And I was like, man, that's probably like a 4-game split. They're really hot right now. Motherfucker, it was the whole season. DeMeco Ryans, if I'm a GM, if I'm an owner, I am on the phone the second the season ends.
That's literally
interviewing DeMeco Ryans.
You know what's funny? I wrote that down. I wanted to bring that up. I think DeMeco Ryans, he's going to be a head coach faster.
He has coached his way into a job.
Yeah.
And you know how I feel about offensive-minded guys. But there are the exceptions. Sean McDermott, right?
Yeah.
There are the exceptions. Hell, you even look at Mike Vrabel. You can find success. Can you build the defense? You want to look at Robert Saleh right now? Has he built the defense? Check. Oh, okay, so he can coach. Now, can he get the offense right? Can he get the quarterback right? Breece Hall going down doesn't help. Zach Wilson being a bitch doesn't help. That's a whole different dynamic. But anyways, DeMeco Ryans, to me, he was the biggest winner last night. On the road to shut down the Seattle offense that had been pretty potent most of the year. Hell of a job.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I believe the stat was Brock Purdy's the second quarterback in 49ers history to win their first 2 career starts at the age of 22. So credit to Kyle Shanahan. And we talk about, and I know we bring up the Lions a lot and how great of a situation it would be for any rookie quarterback. Adam, 49ers team. I think that's the best situation for any rookie quarterback. I mean, I think they're undefeated since Christian McCaffrey was acquired. So you have Christian McCaffrey, you have who you could check down to, and he's excellent running the football, and you have George Kittle, who's a yak king. And then you have Kyle Shanahan drawing up plays.
I like this.
It's a great situation.
I like this.
Great situation.
Don Burr says, so we watch a legit number 1 defense win with Brock Purdy. Y'all still want a quarterback with the number 4 pick. You know what? Don, as much as I want to agree with that, I disagree. You show me an all-pro player at defensive tackle, 2 all-pro ends. You show me an all-pro linebacker. You show me 2 all-pro corners. And you show me an all-pro safety. That's what the Niners defense is. It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, it's one of one, and you don't build those pretty easily.
Yeah, it was like...
So, to Don's point, you can win with anybody when you have that type of defense and a system and a head coach like Kyle Shanahan.
Right.
And you have an offense that runs the way it does. But that's not... They are the exception to the rule. You go find me a team that's built offense, defense, with all pros. Trent Williams, Nick Bosa, Armstead, Fred Warner, Ward. You go around the fucking room. On offense, Kittle, McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel before he got hurt. All pros across the entire roster. Well, that's not the Detroit Lions.
You know what this reminds me of? Cooper Rush earlier in the year when he was undefeated and everyone's saying, is it Cooper or is it Dak? I mean, yes, you can win with those guys, but it looks a lot prettier with Dak Prescott. So as much as I respect what Purdy's doing, I mean, how long can they sustain this? I mean, you're going to want Jimmy G back for the playoffs. I don't think they want to roll in the playoffs with Brock Purdy. I mean,
honestly,
I like him.
I don't know.
But Adam, he hasn't.
I like Purdy so much.
I know, I do too.
He's got, and not because I think he's a franchise quarterback or anything, but for Kyle Shanahan, he is perfect. Swag.
He's got swag.
Calm. Doesn't turn the ball over. He made one mistake, should have gotten picked off last night. He's going to get an earful.
Hasn't turned it over yet.
He's going to get a huge earful from Kyle on that one. But he makes the throws, man. He can make them. It's not reliable. It's maybe not the most consistent. It's not the prettiest arm. It's not the prettiest motion. But I walked away so impressed last night. DeMeco Ryans, Kyle Shanahan, that offense, that defense, uber impressive. But we got a great show today. Coming up, tail of the tape, the Lions offense versus the Jets defense. What's the key matchup? 8:30, we'll talk about Jared Goff, his performances at home and on the road. 8:45, Jay from Let's Talk Lions will be joining us. Top of the hour, we'll take your calls. Your expectations going into Sunday. Now that Seattle's lost. Now that Seattle has lost. How good are you feeling going into the rest of the season? Because playoffs are no longer a long, distant, far and away conversation. This is real. This is happening. This is a real conversation we need to have. So 9 o'clock, we'll start taking your calls. 9:30, Robert Saleh, Jared Goff have some history we have to talk about. Of course, 9:40 as always. My bets, along with our predictions for the game on Sunday. It's going to be a great show, so let's get it started. But before we go, I got to tell you about what Jeff Okuda and the founder and CEO of not only Lady Jane's, but Woodward Sports, Chad Johnson, will be doing for the community next Tuesday. Both Chad and Jeff Okuda will be giving their financial support, time, and love for the city by teaming up with Chad's amazing foundation, Wicked Awesome Wishes. They'll be giving out new shoes, new clothing, warm clothes, hats, socks, haircuts to make everybody look and feel good ahead of the holiday season, and of course, warm meals and a holiday cheer. So I can't thank Jeff and Chad enough for all the great work they're doing. We'll be right back. Lots of good stuff coming up in a bit.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff a Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward and Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff a Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Looking to buy or sell your home, whether you're a player or a fan, Michael Phillips will make you his top priority. He did the same for my wife and I. Being in the game for over 23 years makes Michael the number one option for any of you, whether you're friends or family. So if you have real estate needs, call Michael Phillips, 313-403-0011. That's 313-403-0011. We are back here on the Morning Woodward Show, live, woodwardsports.com. And the tail of the tape is going to be the New York Jets defense versus the Ben Johnson, hyper-effective Detroit Lions offense. And, you know, we discussed this a little bit yesterday, but, you know, Quentin Williams missing practice again. It's not looking good for him ahead of Sunday. But regardless, this is still a secondary that features Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed. Yeah. This is still a linebacking core that is playing very well. A defensive front that, yes, Quentin Williams is the guy. He's the best player on defense. But they still have playmakers. So, to me, as much as this is about the Lions, you know, being able to score 24, 27 points, it's also on Goff not turning the ball over, because he hasn't done it. He's only done it once now in 7 games. That's got to be the key, I think, more than anything. If they get pressure on him, they sack him, they stop the run, they limit the passing game, that's all fine and dandy. You can switch the field with your all-pro punter. But turnovers, to me, Jeff, that's what you got to be careful with the with the New York Jets defense.
Yeah, you talk about turnovers. Well, I'll tell you a stat that kind of, you know, speaks to what you're saying here. Jared Goff in wins/ties, which they haven't tied this year. So in wins, 12 touchdowns, 1 interception. In losses, 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So that is the story of the Lions so far, is winning the turnover battle. And it's so cliche to say that, but it's so real. I mean, on the road, we know Jared Goff's stats, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, including a shutout against New England. But again, Jared Goff has been playing well lately. I'm not going to go off stats early in the season. He's clearly, over the last 6 games, played night and day from early in the season. But that's going to be the test, Adam. It's going to be winning the turnover battle, time of possession, especially that offensive line. I think because the Jets, their defense, as good as they are, it starts up front. It starts with those guys, Quentin Williams, Jermaine Johnson, those big guys up front. I think for this offensive line, it's a big test because you've seen last week how clean of a pocket Jared had for a majority of that game. They got to keep that up. I know it's on the road. I checked the weather. It's supposed to be 40 degrees. It's not terrible weather. They should be able to run the football a little more effectively than they've been doing. That's been the storyline. Ben Johnson's talked about that in press conferences. They just want to run it more. They want to run it better situationally to be able to convert, get in short situations. It's 3rd and 2, 2nd and 5. So for Jared, it's about making his job a little more easier, and I think they're going to be able to do that. You're going to need a big game out of Swift, and I'm not talking about a game like he had early in the year against Philly, but you need something out of Swift. I think he's going to be one of those X factors this week, especially if how good their secondary is. They have good linebackers. They're good on all 3 levels, essentially. So, if you got to check it down to Swift, I think he's going to be a big X factor, but you're absolutely right, Adam. It's about keeping those turnovers clean, and Jared Goff has done it so far. How can he hold up? I mean, you got 3 out of the 4 games on the road. It's a big test for him, but it really shows if Jared Goff doesn't turn the ball over, they're winning games. That's a big reason why, and the defense.
We praise Kyle Shanahan for this, right? It doesn't matter the quarterback. He has a system. He has this. He has that, right?
Yeah.
With Jared Goff, it's very similar. You show me a system. Hell, forget the system. You show me the games where he's not turning the ball over. I'll show you wins.
Yep.
That's the common theme. And you can point that out with any NFL quarterback. I mean, you really don't need to just do it with Goff, but it's never more important because of Goff's situation, right? The defense, yes, has been incredible. It's been so much better over these last 6-7 games. But it was a defense early on in the year that you couldn't afford to throw the interceptions he was throwing. Hell, some of them resulting in touchdowns for the opposing team. So this game is all about the turnover battle for me between this offense and the defense. Can you avoid doing what the Vikings did against your defense last week, which was turn the ball over at the goal line, unnecessary mistakes, failing to make it or convert on 4th down? That is going to be the conversation for me. And we'll talk about Jared Goff at 8:30 because his splits between when he's on the road and at home are staggering. It's quite the difference. Now, granted, we are 13 games into the season for the Lions. They're 6-7. 8 of those 13 games have been at home. So the sample size at home is obviously 3 games more than on the road. Maybe we'll have a better depiction, but nonetheless, to me, this is still as important because it does tell a unique story with Jared Goff, but we'll get to that at 8:30. Jeff, you're going to key in on one player. It's not going to be Quinnen Williams. We know what Sauce Gardner likes to do. He likes to hover over the left side. He stays there. He doesn't follow anybody. He doesn't trail anybody. Who is the number 1 player on offense you need or you are going to leverage or utilize to take advantage of a defense that may or may not have Quinnen Williams on Sunday?
There's a couple. I think the first one I've already kind of alluded to. I think Swift's going to be super important, especially in the passing game. But if we're talking receivers, I really do believe, Amon-Ra St. Brown, whoever Sauce is covering, and they do have other guys in the secondary, like you mentioned, Reed, and still they have Hall as well, but still, I would look to guys like DJ Chark or Jamison Williams. I think those guys are going to be super important. Getting the others involved, Josh Reynolds could be another one you can nominate, but to me, it's really Swift, just because of his explosiveness. I know lately, at least majority of this season, he hasn't been the healthiest, but when he's on, he's on. And if you can get him involved in the passing game, give him some carries in the backfield, if he can pop some runs for 15 yards, just make some plays. I think Swift's going to be a big reason. But again, it starts up front with that offensive line, protecting Jared. They got to be efficient in the run game. But to me, Adam, it's a couple guys. I'd probably say Swift, and then another important person would have to be one of the receivers, besides Amon-Ra, because you're going to need a Reynolds, a Chark, or even a Jamison.
I wouldn't say beside. I think what Ben Johnson is going to do well. And look, there's still DJ Reed on the field, so we can't just assume it's only Sauce. This is a very good secondary, but St. Brown in the backfield, St. Brown hiding behind a tight end, St. Brown in the slot, St. Brown on the edges. They're
going to move him around.
He's the guy. Yeah. I understand this is going to have to be a tough, physical, run the football game. Jamal Williams, 12, 15 carries. DeAndre Swift, 10, 12 carries. I understand. But you need one guy, number 14, on 3rd down and in the red zone if you want to beat this team. He's your X factor. He's your best player on offense. He needs to have a game.
Mm-hmm. And the benefit of this Lions offense, too, and what makes them so much more dangerous is the way they spread the ball around. There's not, St. Brown is obviously the reception king. He's going to get his targets. But even if St. Brown does get neutralized or slowed down, the way Jared Goff has been spreading the football around, I think is going to cause any defense problems. I mean, the way you can get Reynolds involved, Chark, now you have Jamison. Don't forget about the tight ends, Brock Wright, James Mitchell, Zylstra. I mean, they have so many weapons. Swift, you can use him in the slot. I mean, at receiver as well. So the offense is as dangerous as it is, Adam. I think what makes them even more dangerous is they don't rely heavily on one receiver. They have so many different guys they can get involved.
Especially recently.
Absolutely. And that's credit to Jared, the way he's able to spread the ball around. So I think that's going to be the big thing. If Ben can keep doing that, keep spreading the wealth a little bit, and Jared can keep doing that, I think it'll cause any defense problems.
We got some interesting
comments
comments this morning over at woodwardsports.com. Pistons fan 11 says Sauce is a lockdown already, but he's got a lot of help from a fantastic D-line, and no Williams helps. Don Burr says Sauce is a damn rookie. Dion did it for 10 years. I'm throwing at Sauce. He's got to show me.
Well,
Don and Pistons fan, both of you. Let me fill you in on a number. It's one of my favorite numbers I've looked up on Sauce. He's allowed 17 yards in man coverage all season.
He hasn't given up one touchdown.
17 yards. He hasn't given up a touchdown. Look, I respect the competitor challenge, mano y mano. I want to go up against that guy. I do not want to go up against that guy. Now, I'm not saying you don't test him. And we talked about this yesterday. You have to keep him honest. You got to, for me, Chark is on him the whole game. I'm lining up Chark. Chark is running the go routes. Chark is running 10 and 15 ends. He's running the comeback routes. You got to keep Sauce honest. You don't just want to deviate and move away from that side of the field. It plays into New York's hands. But to sit there and say we're going to throw at this guy who's allowed 17 yards in man coverage all year.
Teams have thrown at him.
You got some balls, guys. Yeah. And all of you have got some balls. I'd love to see you call the game. Holy hell. I would love to see you call the game where the first play of the game, fuck it, we're testing this kid.
I respect it, but teams have tried to do that all year. Not consistently because they've learned their lesson. No, it does not work. But again, I think Ben's going to have a great game plan. I mean, he's going to find and exploit the weaknesses in this defense, let alone if there's any weakness, little to no weakness in this defense. But I think Pistons fans are absolutely right. It starts up front for those guys. So that's why I keep bringing up this offensive line because, listen, as much as I respect Sauce, it's hard to cover anybody for 6-7 seconds. I mean, he's a great corner. So those guys getting pressure has been a big part. But Sauce,
look at Robert Saleh's defense.
Has been great.
They get very tight, and they leave Sauce in man. Think about when they use him in man coverage. They use him in man coverage on third down.
Yeah.
When it's not an obvious zone situation. And they use him in the red zone. And they leave him on an island. Why? Because they know 9.5 times out of 10, your wide receiver can't beat him. That's how good he is. Yeah. We had Tim Twentyman on yesterday. What did we talk about? Aiden Hutchinson. Does he have a chance at Rookie of the Year? Can he get 10, 11, 12 sacks?
Right.
Even if he does. Is he a top 10 pass rusher in the NFL right now? No, he isn't. Sauce is top 3 at his position.
It's insane.
He's already an all-pro corner. It's ridiculous. And I'm not saying you shy away or you should be scared of him. No. I've already given you the formula. You keep him honest. Mm-hmm. And when there is no safety help and they bring those safeties into the box, that should play into your hands. Doesn't mean you have to throw his way.
Yeah.
But that's when the play-action game gets more into effect. A Jamison Williams, a St. Brown, a Josh Reynolds, Brock Wright. This is when the offense really excels. Yeah. They're going to have to establish the run. We'll take a break. When we get back, Jared Goff. At home and on the road, 2 different quarterbacks this year. Which one are we going to see in New York on a cold day, on a windy day? And what, since Seattle has lost, is now officially a playoff determining game. You win, you control your destiny. Can you win on the road against a very good, stingy defense? I can't wait to have this conversation on Goff, but before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Cintron.
Well, guys, to get you up in the morning, I have the perfect solution. It's Cintron, because it's the official energy drink of the Red Wings, and they've combined all 3 of their delicious flavors into a 6-pack sampler box. You have cranberry, sugar-free, the original. Pre-order your Cintron 6-pack sampler box today at cintronworld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron.
I love Woodward Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Let me tell you about our friends at Alta, because at Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, let Alta know, because they got you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA today.
All right, we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show live, woodwardsports.com. Adam Beydoun, Jeff Iafrate as always. Jeff, Jared Goff in his 8 home games this year has thrown 20 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Off the top of your head, how many has he thrown all season?
22.
22. He's thrown 2 touchdowns on the road. And yes, the Lions smacked down the New York Giants, but he did complete, I believe, 17 of 26.
Yeah, and that was
160 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He protected the ball. The defense was all over the place, forcing turnovers. The run game was effective. I'm not making an excuse, but a 20 to 2 touchdown split home and on the road. I'm not saying Jared Goff has been awful on the road this year. They've won games on the road this year. They've proven it.
Right.
But, again, in the context of this game, I need more from Goff than what he's given. I need a little bit more than what he gave in New York the last time around. I need 190, 212, 215 yards. I don't need 300. I need effective third down throwing. I need effective red zone conversions. I need him to continue to play how he has been, especially with his decision making, because I think we can all agree, and who knows, we can throw it up in the chat if we want, but the reality is this is going to be an ugly game. And I think you're going to want to run the ball 30, 32, 35 times.
Yeah.
Not only to set up play action in the cliche like, we do most weeks about how effective this offense is, but especially on the road, in that environment, against that defense, yeah, you're gonna want to keep them honest, and you're gonna want Goff to beat them a few times with some crossing intermediate routes. For me, I need 60-70% of what I've seen from Goff at Ford Field on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not asking for 360 and 2 touchdowns. I'm not, but I do think this game will come down to him and his ability to throw on third down, Jeff, and his ability, if needed, to convert in the red zone. That, to me, is everything, along with, of course, protecting the football.
And early in the season, too, I mean, you go on the road to Minnesota, 25 of 41, almost 300 yards. He has a touchdown and interception. And then you move on. New England and Dallas, too. That was probably their worst back-to-back offensive performances the entire season.
Offense wasn't healthy, so how hard can I be on him for that?
Right. In Dallas, I mean, that game was a disaster.
You lose St. Brown on the first play, I believe, correct?
Yeah, and on top of that, Jamal fumbles at the goal line. It was a lot. And again, no excuses. Jared Goff has to play better. But that was the first half of the season, he was turning the ball over a ton. If you look at the second half of the season, you go on the road to Chicago, 19 of 26, 236 and a touchdown, didn't turn the ball over. You won on the road. You go to New York the following week, 17 of 26, 165, didn't throw a touchdown, but they still won 30-18. So again, it kind of shows the different ways. I don't think necessarily you need to completely rely on Goff. I think Goff can have a game similar to what he had against the Giants. I mean, 17 of 26, a $165, but they're able to run the ball. They're efficient in the red zone. And on top of that, if you watch the Giants game back, there's a couple of those passes that were at the 1 yard line that they had to run with Jamal following. So a couple of those touchdowns were left off the board. But yeah, no question. I mean, most quarterbacks are different from at home and on the road, but with this, and I'm sure they know that. I mean, this is how they game plan it. You've seen, especially like New York, you're a little more conservative. Chicago, a little more conservative, but still, nonetheless, I mean, I got faith with how Jared Goff's been playing. He just has to not turn
he's been excellent.
He just has to not turn the ball over. It's not about putting up these numbers and throwing touchdowns.
I wouldn't even say it that way. I would just rephrase it. He needs to continue what he has been doing most of the season.
Yeah,
he's playing at a Pro Bowl level right now, Jeff.
He is.
The last 7 games have been uber impressive with his ability to not turn the ball over.
Yeah.
But let's not forget the first 4 games of the year. This offense was humming. This was an offense that was losing games because its defense would give up 38, 48 points. So, Goff has been having a career season, his best since 2018.
Right.
I don't want to make this just about him, but he does hold the key to this game. And you can say it most weeks, right? Your quarterback turns the ball over, you're probably going to lose. That's just the NFL.
Right.
But
right.
It is never more important than it is this week because the Jets' defense. Why? Because their offense sucks. And I don't mean that as in a joking way. Their offense is really bad. Seriously.
No, yeah.
And how do they score typically? They thrive off of short field positions, right? Because their defense. Forcing mistakes, turnovers, sacks, pinning them deep. They got a punt. They start at midfield, whatever it may be. This game, again, you can say it about every game with your quarterback, but this to me is more important than even against Carolina, Chicago, or the Packers. Throwing interceptions is an absolute fuck no on Sunday, because if there's ever a team on your schedule right now to make you pay for it, it is this Jets team.
Yes.
And again, that doesn't take away from what the Lions have been. Offensively, they're the only team in the NFL with 7 games over 30 points. Ben Johnson has them flying. Jared Goff playing at a Pro Bowl level. Amon-Ra St. Brown at an All-Pro level. Offensive line has been excellent all year. Taylor Decker playing through injuries. Penei Sewell showing his growth. Frank Ragnow at center. It's unbelievable. But this is the ultimate chess game for me. I don't see this as you're going to go out and play Minnesota like you did the other week. And, oh, man, like they have nothing to offer us on defense. They can't stop the Lions. What I'm showing you, even without Quinnen Williams, and maybe it's me giving too much respect to the Jets. I like to think that's my job, but this is a team that's offering multiple solutions. You don't just get to move your pawns and your little shit around the chessboard and, you're going to win easily because you're playing a noob. You're playing somebody that has multiple chess pieces that will be able to counter what you do well. And that's why it'll never be more important than ever that not only Goff just doesn't turn the ball over, but Jeff, I'm going to need 12 carries out of Swift. Effective carries.
Yep.
I'm going to need Jamal to not go average 2-3 yards a carry. This is going to be determined at the line of scrimmage like most weeks in the NFL, but never more important this week.
Yeah, and the clear stat to me, and I've talked about this already, is red zone efficiency. The Lions right now, number 1 in the NFL in red zone efficiency. The New York Jets, 26th. So they got to keep that up. I mean, if you get down there, you got to convert. You got to score touchdowns on the road. But what's been helping Goff, and this is what I want to see more of on this defense and continue to do this, is turn the ball over. Because early in the year, Jared Goff would have an interception or he'd turn the ball over. The defense, not only can they not stop anybody, they can't turn the ball over. Lately, and I know Jared's only had 1 interception in the last 6 games, but you've seen his defense create turnovers. That's what you, especially when your quarterback's not turning the ball over and your defense is creating turnovers. I mean, the winning percentage, I mean, your percentage to win the ball game goes up significantly. So the defense can continue that, force a turnover. That's going to help them no matter what. But you're right. Goff cannot turn the ball over. I mean, that's a big part of this, but that's any quarterback, and that's the whole offense as well.
Guys, we're going to get to your comments, and we're going to start taking your calls at 9 o'clock. All right, we got Jay from Let's Talk Lions coming on in a few minutes. But I do think a lot of you are being pretty ignorant in the chat. I do. The Bills, for example, saying the Bills are so much better than the Jets. Maybe offensively, sure. But to me, this is the best defense you've played all year. And this is a Jets team that has beaten the Browns, has beaten the Steelers, has beaten the Dolphins, has beaten the Packers, has beaten the Broncos. They've lost to the Patriots by a combined 12 points. 5 in their first meeting, 7 on a special teams return towards the end of that game. They beat the Bills earlier in the year. They smacked on the Bears, held the Bears to 10 points, who scored 30 against you. Lost to the Vikings by 5, and they just lost to the Bills by 8 because their offense couldn't score 21 points. And if their offense scored 21 points in a few of their losses, they'd be a 9-5, 9-4 team. So this is a team that just struggles on offense. Defensively, they are legit. And you look at their schedule, Lions, Jaguars, Seahawks, Dolphins.
Right.
If I'm a Jets fan, 3 out of 4 is what I'm looking at. If I'm a Jets fan, I see 3 out of 4 games that are very winnable. Miami at home Miami on the road for the Jets, very tricky. That's going to decide who's going to win the wild card, potentially, depending on if the Chargers fall off or not. So that game may very well determine the season. But for the Jets, you guys think it's only about the Lions this week and that they're in a must-win? The Jets can't lose. They're going to lose ground on the Chargers. They're going to lose ground on the Dolphins. They can't afford to lose. You think this is only must-win for you? It's a must-win for the Jets. Because if they beat you, well, destiny's in their hands now. And then they can go beat the Jags, and they can beat the Seahawks. And then they can afford to maybe lose to the Dolphins. This is an amazing game. I am very excited for this game. We'll take a break. When we get back, Jay from Let's Talk Lions will be joining us. Top of the hour, the phone lines will be open. 313-552-6322. We'll pin it after our call with Jeff. You guys call, with Jay. You guys call in. And we'll give you the second hour. It's about you guys, your expectations, your thoughts on this team, the offense, Jared Goff, the Jets defense. We want to talk to you guys. So we'll do that in a bit. But before we go, Jeff, Guardian Alarm.
Well, guys, we talk about a defense that needs to make plays. Well, Guardian Alarm is there for you, and they're a good defense. If you want Guardian Alarm, they'll give you peace of mind. If you just call 1-800-STAY-OUT, you can rest easy knowing you have 24/7 constant protection for your home. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. Let them know your friends at Woodward Sports sent you.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff a Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward and Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff a Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show, live, woodwardsports.com. Ryan Armani, a life-changing decision to go with Dr. Jason and our good friends over at Custom Health Centers. He's down over 20 pounds. You see in the shot, he looks like an overgrown Oompa Loompa. And Before. If you watch now on Armani and Edwards, I mean, it's unbelievable. He doesn't have like 4 chins anymore. He has 2. That's impressive.
He's a good-looking fella.
It's a good-looking fella. Shout out to Dr. Jason and the team over at Custom Health Centers for that. We're going to get the show started. We are joined by a very, very, very special guest, Jay from Let's Talk Lions. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to his YouTube channel. Jay, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
I'm pretty good. Getting pretty amped about this Jets game here, huh?
Oh, man, it's quite the game. The Jets and the Lions have everything on the line. They're both fighting for a wild card spot. Seattle's loss last night, Jay, really just opened the door for Detroit not to just find a way in, but 3 of 4, as much as I think could be enough, it requires way too much help. If they win out, I think they're guaranteed in. There's 100% certainty in my mind. How important is it for this team going into Sunday to continue the way they have been on offense, not committing turnovers, playing well? They got to run a little better, but Jay, this is a hell of a defense.
Yeah, man. No, I think, first of all, you nailed it. With Seattle falling apart, losing that game, the Lions control their own destiny, right? Like, it's up to them to get into the playoffs at this point. Yeah, you're going to need some help, potentially, but like you're saying, man, you win out, you control your own destiny, go get it done. So coming into this game against the Jets, offense has to be electric. And I heard you guys talking a little bit before me coming on about, and I'm sure we'll get into Goff's struggle, home versus away and what that means for this Lions team. So this offense has to come out and, like we did against Minnesota, put your foot on the gas and keep it on the gas all day long. It's going to be tough against this Jets defense, though, yeah?
What about that defensive rookie of the year race, Jay? Because I've had this conversation, too. I got a lot of respect for what Sauce is doing to be one of the best corners in the league as a rookie and what he's doing, essentially trusting him on the left side of the field to hold his own. And people talk about Hutchinson. Yes, he's played excellent over these stretch of games. I know at the beginning a little inconsistent, but now he's been on a tear. Do you see, in your opinion, and I know Sauce is number one, he's playing in New York, you got a little bit of that New York media, is there any chance in your mind Aiden can jump Sauce for that defensive rookie of the year race, or is it Sauce's award to lose?
Yeah, man, I have to take off the blue sunglasses here, take the blinders off. I want it to be Hutch, but it is Sauce's to lose at this point. Sauce has just been, he's everything that he was cracked up to be, right? And like my brother, a Bills fan, talking to me about him, just kind of showing me some plays, and this kid is unbelievable. I think Sauce deserves it. If it was right now, and they were handing out the award, it's Sauce's easy. I would love to see Hutch be able to come up and get it, but I don't think he can if Sauce just continues doing what he's been doing, right?
Yeah, and the matchup, too, with this offense, because one thing I love about the Lions is they're able to spread the ball around so much. I mean, you're getting so many different receivers. You're getting the running backs involved, and especially with an offensive line like they currently have. It makes everything a little more easier. And Jared Goff, last 6 games, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. What kind of problems does this offense for the Detroit Lions pose for this Jets defense? Because, yes, it is one of the better defenses the Lions have played, but I can make that same argument, Jay, for the Jets. I mean, this is the best offense, or one of the best they've played all year for the Jets.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm glad you bring that up, right? Because everybody's talking. We're looking. The Jets defense letting up 18 points per game. The Lions are scoring offense, over 28 points per game at this point. Yeah. And so you have this stellar offense going up against this stellar defense. The Lions being the number 1 red zone team in the NFL, which is wild when you look at our percentages this year versus last year in comparison. But, yeah, when I look at this Jets defense, this Lions offense, for me, the biggest part, because you look at the Bills put up it was 20-12 total. So they put up 20 points on that team. I think the Lions offense is a more well-rounded, balanced squad. I'm watching all these Jets fans saying a lot of stuff about the Lions, saying, our defense is incredible. We're going to shut you down. I'm like, then you're probably only watching us on red zone. Then you're probably not watching this team move from the 20-yard line all the way down to the red zone, because what we're able to do, what we have been able to do, is incredible. The balance between the run game and the pass game and our O-line. Guys, I'm really excited because I think this is going to be a heavyweight bout out there.
You know what, Jay? I don't think you're wrong. This is a chess game. This is an offense that has been potent all season versus a defense that's been consistently very good all season. Quinnen Williams will be the X factor. Whether or not he plays will make a big difference. But where I want to go with this is this turnaround. We haven't had you on since 2 weeks ago. Sorry. This is a team that started 1-6. They're now 5-1 since. They win on Sunday. They are 7-7.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan Campbell has gone from a guy we thought would be working at McDonald's after a 1-6 start. No. I'm just being real here. A guy who after a 1-6 start looked like he had no business being in the NFL and somehow completely turned it around.
Yeah.
And they're on the hunt for the playoffs. I've really never seen anything like this in my life.
Yeah. No, dude, it has been a wild season watching because I got to the point when we were 1-6, man. I remember I made a video that was like just having a reality check of, oh my God, this is not working. Something is not working, and we are falling to the wayside. What is going to happen to Dan Campbell? I saw people calling for Dan Campbell's job, the whole 9 yards, classic, because, we're pretty impatient. However, you watch the turnaround, what they have been able to do, and really it's been since AP's firing, and I love AP, and I'm really, I was bummed him having to go and whatever, but there has been some odd turnaround where the defense has been gelling, where they've been meshing, they've been figuring it out. It hasn't been the all-offense show. Though the offense show has been fun to watch, now seeing this defense get out there and actually stop the rushing, I think it's been, 7 straight games where the opponent hasn't had more than 100 rushing yards, or we've kept them lower than 100?
Yeah.
That turnaround mid-season when you're going 1-6 doesn't make any sense to me, and I love it.
It makes no sense, and honestly, till now, I'm still shocked and surprised. I had a famous saying last year. I said, by Thanksgiving of next year, I will have a very good idea of who Dan Campbell is. No doubts. And by Thanksgiving this year, he had me thinking, which, really goes against my own philosophy, and I knew going into Buffalo it'd be a tough game at home, but when they barely lost it and he lost it the way he did, I did feel a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth after, but I was confident that the team was going in a new direction, and it's left me in a place, Jay, where it's not that I don't want to buy in. I just want to know, which one is it? Are you the guy who is 1-6 and can't stay out of your own way? Or are you this phenomenal coach who is 5-1 in the stretch, has the defense playing better than ever, the offense has been phenomenal, not turning the ball over, you're actually punting, I can't fucking believe it, you actually use your Pro Bowl punter, thank God, and you're taking field goals when you need them. Which one is it is kind of where I'm at. I don't have a definitive answer on him. He's shown me way too many extremes. He's shown me really bad, and now he's shown me really good. And I'd like to believe it's the latter, obviously, because I have my own personal bias and wanting this team to succeed. But, which one is it? What do you think? And I'm really spiraling here because I'm not sure. He's shown me way too much of both.
Yeah, no, dude. I feel like when he first came on staff, and you're watching that Lions team last year, 2021, and even the first 4 to 6 games of this year, there was this over-aggressive mentality, this we are going to be the most aggressive team. We're going to make the weirdest calls. We're going to fake punt every other punt. It was almost asinine. It got to the point where you were like, what are we doing? It feels like we took the game of football, we scrapped it, and we said we're going to play it our own way. And it was never paying off. And then after that Minnesota game this year, Dan Campbell all of a sudden got very, I wouldn't say very, he became a little bit more conservative in his play calling. Like you said, started actually punting, started taking the field goal instead of saying, hey, I know it's 4th and 9 for the 3rd time this game. Let's run it. Actually saying, okay, let's get rid of the ball, let's punt it here. We started doing those things and establishing ourselves as a team that is going to compete without being asinine in our decision making. And now we have watched as the team began to roll, as he was really trusting the guys, trusting the process of the game itself. And I think we've gotten to a point where we can win the right way. And so you see last week with that fake punt call or with the Sewell call, You can dial in and draw up those odd plays when the time is right, but not every friggin' time.
And Jay, I want to ask you about Jared too, because Jared's been on a tear lately, man. I mean, right now in the league, 8th in passing yards, top 5 in touchdowns, and he's 6th in QBR as well. And you look at over the last 6 games, the turnovers. Like, he had 6 of his turnovers in those first 7 games, and now the last 6 games he has 1 interception, no fumbles or anything. So he's been much, much better. This offense has been as good, but the difference is, and obviously you talked about it, is that defense, and now they're winning games, they're putting it all together. But for Jared Goff, what are your thoughts on him, his play as of late, and how much flexibility does that give the Lions moving forward? Because I want your thoughts on the whole draft a quarterback. What's the future look like? Could you see Jared at quarterback for the future for the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, man. Okay, some great questions there. When you look at Jared Goff, you look at his season this year, he finally became comfortable in who he was, where he was, and with Ben Johnson. The two of them actually working together. The O-line has been stout. The O-line has done a magnificent job, and what they're allowing Goff to do is have time. Let the plays develop. As they develop, it becomes, I saw somebody quoted it this week, basically a 7-on-7, where it's like, it's Goff just letting the plays develop, making the play. So when I look at Goff, our O-line is going to be good for years to come, right? And I think with that, you have time with Jared Goff. I don't think we need to draft a QB. I really don't. Goff does struggle in the cold weather. I think this Jets game will be the tell. It will be the tell of, is Goff the future or not? Because at home, yeah, man, he's been magnificent. Putting up 330 yards, 340 yards, like week after week, making himself look like, hey, I'm the guy for the future. And I think he absolutely can be. This game against the Jets, where it is a playoff caliber, a playoff contention game, if he can get out there in the cold, in the wind, away, week 15, with everything on the line here this early, and say, watch me, and he doesn't turn the ball over, he doesn't fumble, then I think we're looking at Goff is the future. Period.
Jay, call me crazy.
No.
All right? Call me crazy.
Never.
If I'm putting a bet right now, and I'm circling the calendar next year, and I want to make a bet, I'm betting on the Lions to win the NFC North next year, and nobody can convince me otherwise. Am I crazy?
Absolutely. No, you're not crazy. I'm with you. Tell me how much you're putting down, and I'm going to match it.
I'm with you. I'm thinking like $500 on the Lions to win the NFC North next year. I swear.
Okay.
Hear me out. I'll make the bet for you, Jay. You don't have to worry about it. Look, I'm being serious right now.
Yeah.
You have 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, a third-round pick, free agency. The team is gelling.
Right.
Aaron Glenn's looking like the guy we thought he was last year. You have Ben Johnson, my God, bless your soul, dude. This guy is unbelievable. You have an offense that's gelling. Everything is clicking right now. You add more pieces to it, I think you're the best. I think you have the most complete roster, not only in the North, I could argue a top 4, top 5 roster in the NFC. And the NFC is shit right now. There has never been a better time for you to go out and win the North the next year. And again, maybe I'm ahead of myself. Maybe these last 6 games I've gotten too much into my head, but I'm sorry. I'm seeing football that we thought we would see before the season started. Pain in the ass to play against, effective on offense, an okay defense that could be opportunistic at times. Jay, I think this is real.
Bro, I am with you. You're hyping me up over here. You look at the defensive rookies specifically and the progress that they've made in the last 6 games. That progress it's not just going to stop. It's not just going to stop. The James Houstons, the Kirby Josephs, like these guys, even Pascal, man, like this team going into the future, the NFC North, as the rebuild happened after our first draft, I said my guess was 2023 the Lions can actually contend for the North. Take the word actually out, the Lions take the North 2023.
Wow, man, you know what, Jay? I've enjoyed this so much. Appreciate you coming on. I'm glad we're on the same page. We got to do this again. Can we not wait 2 weeks next time? You're killing me.
Hey, man, listen, you know it. You tell me when. I'll make it work. Thanks for having me, fellas.
Always,
you're the man,
always,
Jay.
Jay. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Jay's YouTube channel. Let's Talk Lions. Appreciate the time, Jay. You have a great weekend, buddy. When we get back, the phone lines are open. Alex, let's pin it to the top of the Woodward Sports chat. 313-552-6322. That's 313-552-6322. Call in. Let's talk about the game. Your expectations. Your vibe. Do you think I'm crazy for saying you're going to win the North next year? Let's have the conversation. The next half hour is all about you. Phone lines are open at every single one of you. So we'll do that, but before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Big Boy.
Well, it's wintertime in Detroit, and it's always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the classic meatloaf or Cajun chicken Alfredo, but they got breakfast as well. The stuffed potato pancakes, lumberjack, Santa Fe garden, or the blockbuster. Stop by your local Big Boy today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Jeff Okuda and Wicked Awesome Wishes present Hope for the Holidays. Jeff Okuda gives his financial support, time, and love for the city of Detroit with Chad Johnson and his amazing foundation, Wicked Awesome Wishes. Together, Jeff and Chad have been game planning all year long to make this Christmas one to remember for underprivileged children and their families. Special thanks to Lions players Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tracy Walker, Will Harris, and more, along with Lions alumni Lomas Brown and Joyak Bell, and the awesome people at Lighthouse Coolidge Community Building in Oak Park. Together, we'll make sure every child has new shoes, warm coats, hats, and socks, plus free haircuts to help everyone feel their best. And don't forget Woodward Sports' Braylon Edwards, Ryan Armani, and Darren McCarty will be there too. Hope for the holidays from Jeff Okuda and Wicked Awesome Wishes.
Jeff Iafrate here. Let me tell you about our friends at Chili Peppers Tanning, because it's where you'll find all the cleanest salons in the D with spotless, sanitized rooms and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They'll beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters, 27 locations, and more on the way.
Chili Peppers Tan.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show. I told you guys this last week. I took my little nephew down to the Monroe Street Midway. We had some fun at the arcade. I ate, obviously. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to feed a kid, so what do I know? I'm not a dad yet, but anyways. It was fun. I had a blast. Really had a blast. It's a good time. And I think on Thursdays and Fridays only, they have Santa down there if you want to take pictures. So
that's awesome.
That's a cool thing. I'm not sure how much of a fan of Santa Claus you are. But, I don't sit on his lap anymore, if that helps.
I could see your nephew taking pictures of you sitting on Santa's lap. You know,
I would never. When did you find out Santa wasn't real? What age?
My mom would never. She didn't really BS with me.
When did you figure it out?
I mean, I was young. I was like 10 years old.
Oh, okay. We're about the same age.
It was cool, yeah.
I figured it out like 10, 11 years old.
I was like, what the hell are we doing?
I was like, wait, how'd Santa know I wanted Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Like, I could have sworn my mom picked it up at Target when I was with her. She didn't see me notice, but...
Wait, Santa's not real? Are you joking?
Start that shit with
No, I'm joking. All right,
we're back. We're back. Let's have some fun. Phone lines are open, 313-552-6322. This is going to be a blast. I'm going to enjoy this. We'll go to the people. Let's start with Eric. Eric, you're on the morning show. What do you got for us this morning, buddy?
What up, though, guys?
What up, what up?
What's going on?
Nothing much, man. I believe this. I told y'all that Minnesota game I had a feeling.
You did. That you did.
This Jets game, everybody talking about their defensive line. Are we forgetting we got a top 2 offensive line? Is everybody forgetting that?
I don't think it's that we're forgetting. I want you to think about it, Eric, like a chess game, right? Let's say I'm an expert. I'm a grandmaster at chess, and you're just, you're playing chess for the first time. Well, obviously I'm going to beat you, but this is the first time I think the Lions have played a defense that has answers, that has capable solutions for what the Lions do well.
Yeah, that too, Adam. But also, this is an offensive line they haven't faced an offensive line like ours either. And I think if the Lions don't overcomplicate things and we just stay true to who we are, run the ball first, play action, we'll be okay. But this turnaround, Adam and Jeff, it got me all over the place because I'm not lying. I have an 8-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old son, and they're Lions fans. And I'm like, am I child abuse for making them Lions fans? Is this child abuse? But right now, I'm like, maybe y'all gonna get the good Lions, because my daughter asked me before they got on this win streak, she was like, Daddy, is the Lions, who's playing? I'm like, the Lions. She like, oh, they always lose. I'm like, oh my God, she got it now. But I'm like, no, baby, maybe it's a turnaround because we've been winning this. She like, yeah, my son, go Lions. So I'm like, okay.
I love it.
Maybe I don't have to put myself in child abuse. I mean,
maybe not. Don't worry. My dad blames me because I was born in '94, and that was around the last time the Lions did anything meaningful. So he blames me for all the losing.
Man, Adam, I'm 42, man. I'm 43. I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for this turnaround. You know how long it's been?
Man, I'm happy. I'm excited for everybody. This has been really good. So appreciate the call, Eric.
Me too.
Hell of a job, buddy.
Hey, y'all have a great weekend, man. Y'all stay safe.
Yeah, you too, Eric. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, he's the man, dude.
Oh,
Eric always brings the heat.
Oh, yeah.
And he's absolutely right. I think that gets not. We know it and we talk about it, but that offensive line, like. Again, I think we're so used to it being as good as it is that we don't mention it as much, but my goodness. He's right. I mean, it is the best offensive line, in my opinion,
that the Jets have gone against.
Yes.
Again, that's fair. I look at it like a chess game.
Yeah.
The guy across from me has as many solutions as I do. Now it's about, can I deceive him? Can I trick him? Can I use what I used or I do well against him? I think the Lions can. It's not that I think the Lions will lose this game or that I think they'll struggle.
Right.
I just truly believe this is really a matchup of kings at what they do.
Right.
So I'm excited for it. Let's go to Cole. Cole, you're on the morning show. What do you got for us this morning, buddy?
Good morning, guys. How we doing?
Good morning. Always.
Anyways, I kind of like what Eric just said about our offensive line and how well our offense is running now. And with I think Chark at running on full cylinders. We're seeing Josh Reynolds now. J-Mo's back, and I like what Ben Johnson said in his interview yesterday. We have that perimeter threat now, and I find it hard for a defense to who are they going to key on? I mean, I don't think they're going to be able to key on Amon-Ra if we throw him, in the slot running his middle routes. And then if they do, I mean, now we got J-Mo on the outside, Chark on the other side, and Swift out of the backfield, and I just think.
Let me ask you this: if I were to tell you that in the entire NFL, there's maybe only 4 or 5 defenses, that can legitimately answer to what the Lions do, would you include the Jets on it? Because I would.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably go Jets, but I don't know. I mean, obviously the Niners, I think, are the best.
Yep.
But I think it's going to be difficult for any defense to, find a game plan to really shut us down.
Yeah, there is no such thing as shutting down anymore unless you are the Niners, who have been unbelievable. But the Jets, what the Jets want to do is, hey, can we keep the Lions under 21? If we keep them under 21, under 17, maybe we have a shot.
Yeah.
But this game, again, it's going to come down to, do the Lions turn the ball over? They haven't for the longest time now. It's a big part of why they're winning. And if they do, and they give this offense that is struggling a short field, well, it's going to be a long day. So appreciate the call, Cole. You have a great weekend, buddy.
Yeah, you too. See you guys.
Yep.
Appreciate Cole. Yeah, no, and what he said, too, to speak on this offense, and we can say both things can be true, right? This is the best defense you've played, because week 1 you played Philly. It's week 1. It's different when you're playing a team this late in the season when they're hitting their stride. So, yes, absolutely, this is a big test for the Lions. This is the best defense they've played in quite some time since really getting shut out against New England on the road. But I'm telling you, this is the best. We talk about, okay, Jets being one of those defenses that can slow down what the Lions can do well. I can make an argument that this Lions offense is going to cause problems for this Jets defense. And they're probably a top 5 team that could cause problems for that Jets defense. So that statement goes either way, in my opinion. So it's a matchup of good on good. This is what you want to see.
I love it. Let's go to Richard out in Nashville. Richard, you are on the Morning Woodward Show. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you? I got 2 things for you. One thing is doesn't his Lions possibly, and we would know more this weekend, remember the Giants when they beat the Patriots the undefeated year, when beginning of the year they won the Fire Coughlin, and they went on that run? Doesn't this kind of remind you of that, maybe, possibly? Not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but...
It's very reminiscent. It's very reminiscent. Look, I don't know. I haven't seen a team start 1-6 and then look this good the way the Lions have. But, you know, if I were to ask you, Richard, is there anybody that wants to play the Lions right now? I would say maybe there's only 3 or 4 teams that would be like, yeah, okay, we got this. The Niners, the Eagles, maybe the Chiefs, the Bills, sure. But the Lions are one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now.
Right.
And it is reminiscent. If they continue this run and they get into the wild card, I feel bad for whoever is the home team, whether it's the Bucs, whether it's the Niners possibly, whether it's the Vikings. Good luck, because this team is tough, man.
Yeah, it's whoever gets hot. You know, that's usually how sports goes a lot of times. And another thing I got is, we know our offense. We got so many young guys. Our defense. A lot of these guys are on first or second year contracts. What if we keep Goff and we draft some more defense, get another running back? Because I still don't trust Swift because he's so in. And could this team could Goff not be a Trent Dilfer or somebody like that where we have a good defense?
Let me say this.
And we win a Super Bowl?
Let me say this. If Dan Campbell, who in the last 6 games has looked like a top-tier coach, if Dan Campbell is a top 10, top 12 coach, and that's what he can develop into, and he's actually really good, and maybe Sean Payton was right, and he is the offensive version of Mike Vrabel, let's say, well then, yeah, I think you can win with Goff. That's no doubt. And I think the plan should be this upcoming offseason, build the defense, draft a running back, sign free agents, sign veterans, and stick with Goff. Goff has played at a Pro Bowl level. I don't see the need to move off, but this is just my opinion. I don't think it's crazy to entertain a quarterback at number 4 if that is your vision for what your franchise quarterback is. Again, I don't want it, but I'm not going to sit here and say you're crazy, whether it's you, Richard, Jeff, or anybody else, for saying, I think this is the time. If not now, when? Because next year you're going to be picking in the 20s, because I'm going to be on board by saying the Lions are going to win the North next year.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to pick a quarterback, at least early. But yeah,
and what's it going to cost you to trade up? So that's where I'm at, Richard. I'm going to agree with you. I think you got to build the defense.
Yeah, and I trust Brad Holmes because he's not a GM that just trades just to be in a position. He trades up to get a guy he wants. So I trust whatever he's going to do. And thank you guys for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Richard.
Go Lions.
Coming on, man.
Go Lions.
That was about as consistent as you can be from a fan perspective on, what you see. There is a comment in the chat I want to get to regarding Bill Belichick, I think is what I read. Let's see what it is. Unless we believe Robert Saleh is a defensive genius like Bill Belichick, I don't see the Jets stopping the Lions' offense. Well, let me ask you this. What was your name? Excuse me. Public Enemy. Let me ask you this, buddy. And I don't mean this in a rude way. You tell me if this is a defensive genius. Last season, Robert Saleh's first season, they were 4-13. Okay? 32nd in points allowed, 32nd in yards allowed defensively. This year, they're 6th in points allowed, 3rd in yards allowed. That seems like a defensive genius to me.
Yeah.
No?
He's not Bill Belichick, but you're right.
No,
he doesn't have to be Bill
Belichick.
That's the point.
But
yeah,
is that not only the quality, is that not the statistical evidence you need to say what he's doing is historic? He took the number 32 defense in points and yards and turned them into top 6 and top 3.
Right.
Am I missing something? To me, that's defensive genius. And last year, they gave up 500 points a game. Or, excuse me, 500 points a game. They gave up 500 points over the whole year. This year, they're on pace to give up less than 300.
Mm-hmm.
That is a significant turnaround. Their point differential last year was minus 194. This year, it's plus 21. And they've got 6 losses. Think about that. They're losing these games close. Yeah, I think he's a defensive genius. I think Robert Saleh is excellent at what he does. Let's not forget what he did in Seattle. Let's not forget what he did in San Francisco. I do think he is a defensive genius. More so than even Vrabel. More so than even Sean McDermott out in Buffalo right now.
I love this comment, R. Stone in the chat, WoodwardSports.com. The Jets are still in playoff contention with Zach Wilson's play this season. Sounds like a defensive genius to me.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. The thing I disagree with is just simply bringing up Bill Belichick. But other than that, yeah, he's great. He's great defensively. No question. He can coach.
Well, let's take a break. When we get back, Jacob, Brian, Alex, Jeff, I got you all in the queue. I see you. We will be right back to return all of your calls and talk some more Detroit Lions football. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Swiss.
Well, with the holiday season here, Swiss Insurance wants to remind you to insure those gifts of jewelry or collectibles, because in the last 2 weeks alone, Swiss Insurance has saved its clients on an average of 26% on their insurance premiums while still increasing coverage. It's plenty of money to free up for the giving season. Merry Christmas from Swiss Insurance, and don't forget, go blue.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuffa Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward in Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff a Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com. as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
It's a Motor City Christmas, the most wonderful time of the year. Sleigh bells ring and caroling, songs of love and cheer. Lights shine over me and you, walking down Woodward Avenue.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a safe and Happy New Year from the Feldman Automotive family.
Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Downtown Detroit is all decked out this holiday season with the return of the Cadillac Lodge and the Monroe Street Midway. The Midway has a giant slide, winter bumper cars, and an indoor arcade. Plus, you can grab drinks at the Lodge before or after the games. Shop, eat, and play downtown all winter long. From our good friends over at Bedrock Detroit, we are back here on the morning show. The phone lines are open, and we'll continue the conversation. Jeff? Let's go to Jeff.
Oh.
Jeff, you're on the morning show. What do you got for us, buddy?
Hey, Adam and Jeff, you guys are amazing. I've been watching you guys for about a year or two, and I'm finally making my first call. I'm actually, I love you guys. You guys are straightforward. You bring it real. I was living in Traverse City since 2006, made the move, wanted to get away from the snow. Still diehard Lion down here, and I'm in Simpsonville, South Carolina. And go Lions. Lions for life. Been a fan since like 6 years old. And I've been through all the rough times. But I want to just say, we're all concentrating on the offense, how the Lions are unstoppable with Jared Goff and all their weapons and all. But the one thing I'm noticing, I haven't felt in a long time, is the defense of the Lions gives me a little hope. And I don't feel the offense of the Jets, I don't think they have many superstars. I think they have a running back kind of by committee with the injuries they've had this year. Mm-hmm. I really feel like people are not concentrating on Detroit having answers for the Jets. And I actually think we're going to beat them by a pretty good amount of points.
I think it's being overlooked, Jeff, because it's kind of a given, or it's like not that we're taking it for granted, but You don't expect this Jets offense to drop 24 or 27 on the Lions defense, not so much because the defense is playing better, but more so because the Jets offense just struggles to score. It's been their nature all season long, which makes them being 7-6 even more impressive. So I think that's why we're kind of ignoring the Jets offense versus the Lions defense. I do think the Lions defense is set, if they're able to really take advantage of a struggling offense, but I do think the key matchup, and Jeff, I want to know what you think. I think it is between this offense and the Jets defense.
Yeah, on top, number one, thank you, Jeff, for supporting the show and supporting us, man. We appreciate that a ton. But I want to talk about, too, the defense, like you brought up. The biggest thing, too, is Jared Goff not turning the ball over. And on the flip side, you have a defense that has been, creating turnovers. And I think that's going to be the storyline, because we could talk about this offense all we want, but it's the defense as well. Like, how many points are the Jets going to score? And can they score enough to beat the Lions? That's the big question I have. We could talk about the good-on-good matchup, Jeff, but what about this defense? If they can create turnovers like they've been doing, I think the Jets are in for a heap of issues.
And the experience that Mike White has, if he's going at the helm, if they have him in the game with the injuries, the rib injury, Aiden Hutchinson could get to him early, and he's out of the game. And then they go back to Zach Wilson. And Zach Wilson has shown he hasn't been a real beater.
Yeah.
Are you guys on the same page?
Yeah. I'd almost prefer Zach Wilson at this point. I've seen Mike White throw for 300 yards a couple times. I would prefer Zach.
He's tough as nails. That's the kind of backup you want in the NFL. And I watch a lot of the games, not just the Lions, because I have Sunday ticket, of course, living down here in the South. And I'll tell you what, I am so excited. You're right, it's so exciting just to be excited about the Lions in December. I can't remember the last time this happened, and I am following you guys all the time, and I'm going to call you periodically and just stay in touch with you guys and keep this rolling.
Anytime
Let's go.
Anytime you want.
Let's go 7-7, baby. 7-7.
10-7.
All right,
weekend, buddy.
I'm predicting the Lions win this game, 24-17.
Oh, I
like that score. I
love it, Jeff. See you, buddy.
Awesome. All right, see ya.
Awesome call.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Shout out to Jeff, man.
Shout out to people like Jeff. We appreciate you always, whoever you are. It is appreciated. Listening for over a year and a half now.
Yeah.
That's when we did the show. Started back in August 2021.
Year.
Right? 2021 August. Yep. August 13th we started. Man, it's been a minute, Jeff.
And you know what I love, too? The consistent theme with Lions fans, it's this...
excitement.
Yes. And we had so many...
They should be.
I know, but it's funny because it's the complete opposite. They're 1-6. People are calling in frustrated.
No shit.
I don't
blame
know.
them?
No, but it's actually... I love it. I love hearing Lions fans, man. I do. I love hearing the joy. I love hearing the optimism because it's been a couple years since you've had that optimism. It really has. So shout out to Jeff and shout out to Lions fans, man.
All right, well, look, you know what? Before we get into this next call, I kind of want to hype it up a little bit. We're going to go to Brian, but before we do, I think we all understand over the last 6 games how important special teams have been.
Yeah.
And not just the fake punts, but switching field position, taking the points. Brian, you have an interesting comment. Oh, he hung up. Brian hung up.
He did have an interesting comment.
He did have an interesting comment on special teams that we're not going to get to anymore. So we're going to go to Jacob in Saginaw. Jacob, you're on the morning show. What do you got for us, buddy?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Always good.
Good, man.
I've just started listening to you back in July, and this is the first time I'm calling, so love what you guys do and love watching the show.
Yeah, appreciate the call.
Since you didn't say anything on special teams, I'll throw something out there. I thought I saw something that we're ranked number 2 in the nation in special teams right now, overall.
Yes, they are a top 3 special teams unit in the NFL. That is correct.
Yeah, that's been giving us the field position that we need and timely field goals by Badgley. Looking at the beginning of the year, we didn't have a field kicker that could do anything. So now we do.
Jacob, I don't know how old you are, but this is kind of cliche, but I used this example very early on in the year. I think when they were 1-5, and I said, "Do you guys remember the Las Vegas now Raiders, but at the time the Oakland Raiders?"
Yes.
And how they used to have an awful roster, but they had Sebastian Janikowski and Shane Leckler, all-pro kicker, all-pro punter, and all they did was kick 55, 60-plus yard field goals, and they would win games. Because they would always switch the field from their own 10-yard line to the opponent's 10. And that was it. conventional football, a bit overrated, a bit extreme, but the point is not ever not true. The point is you got to be able to punt effectively in the NFL. When you have a Pro Bowl kicker like Jack Fox, you should take advantage of it, and they have.
Oh yeah. And another thing I wanted to touch on too was I saw something about Jared Goff not being able to play in the cold. I know that's going to be a big thing that's going to affect the game game Sunday, but I think that he can, especially if he plays like he's been playing, I think he can lead us to a victory.
Oh, 100%. Look, he's been phenomenal, and I don't have any concerns. It's what can he give you? 20 touchdowns at home, 2 on the road this year. You'd like to see that a little more balanced out, but this has been one of the better offenses at Ford Field all season long. So, Jacob, appreciate the call, buddy.
Yep, thank you guys.
Yep,
Have a good day.
appreciate you. All right, let's go to Brian. He's back. I want to make sure we get to him. Brian, I don't know what happened, but you're back on. Good morning, buddy.
Hey, Adam, what's going on? Adam and Jeff, you guys, I don't want to sound like previous callers, but you guys are great. I've been watching a lot of sports shows over the years. A lot of really good top sports Detroit shows back in the day. You guys are the best. And Jeff is a prodigy. Hey, Adam, you better lock Jeff up. He's a prodigy. That boy's good. He's good.
He's here for a reason. It's not because of me. He's exceptional at what he does.
Brian, you're the man.
You guys are. Anyway, got this defense, got this offense, and and I'm trying to figure it out. Like, man, this may come. What is it going to be? It may come down to special teams. I did not realize the Lions have the third best special teams in the NFL. I had no clue their special teams was doing so good. And this game very, very, very well may come down to special teams. And I just want to say, as a Lions fan, I've not felt this way since Barry Sanders was around.
Wow.
I made a bet with my uncle before he passed. I said, hey, I'll bet you $1 million and get a Super Bowl with Barry. Well, we all know how that went. So, anyway, I just want to see you guys are great. Keep doing it. Keep bringing it. And go Lions.
Yeah, appreciate you, Brian. Great
you
call.
Have a great weekend, buddy. Enjoy the game. That was awesome.
Yeah, and I love that too. That perspective. They're gonna win with Barry. I was just talking to one of my a close family friend the other day, and he had the same kind of optimism at the time as Brian did too. It's funny how. Man,
think about
at the time you're watching
the 90s.
Yes,
you win in the NFL because of running backs. Emmitt Smith, O.J. Simpson prior to that, Walter Payton, some of the great backs, and then you have Barry, who's arguably the greatest, and you couldn't win anything except a few divisions and one playoff game. Fuck,
Oh my gosh,
disappointing. But Wayne Fontes, right? He's the best coach ever. Hey, that's a compliment.
He also has.
It's like saying you went on a Tinder date with like a girl or a guy who's like a 3 out of 10, and you took him home and you slept with him, and it was your first score of the year or your only score of the year. And you're like, man, let me tell you, that girl, that dude, best sex I ever had in my life.
It's like
too bad he looks like a fucking troll. Jesus Christ.
It's like a dude who brags with sleeping with all these women, but he's also been curved the most
the dude
out
who
of
brags about
everybody.
sleeping with women, then he finds out, he gets back to the bedroom and it's a dude.
Wait.
It's like, are you really really?
You've been talking. This is the second time you brought this up. You got something you need. You got something you need to share. I mean, let's be honest here.
No, I'm just trolling.
No,
I don't give a shit what I say anymore.
But it's funny because people mention Wayne Fontes, and he has the most wins. He also has the most losses in Lions history. Dude. So that thing goes both ways. But yeah,
saying Wayne Fontes is your greatest coach in NFL history is like
Terry.
It's like a backhanded compliment.
Terry will tell you straight too. Talk to Terry about Wayne Fontes. He's got a lot of stories.
It's all good. Let's take a break. When we get back, the last time Jared Goff went up against Robert Saleh was in 2019. He threw for a career-low 78 yards. Robert Saleh was the defensive coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers at the time, and Goff threw for a career-low 78 yards.
I got some other stats. So
well, let's get into it. Let's take a break. When we get back, that's the conversation we'll have. But before we go, I got to tell you about Planet Fitness, home of the judgment-free zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. And join today in club by visiting them at one of their many local locations or by signing up at planetfitness.com for $10 a month. Your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Jeff Okuda and Wicked Awesome Wishes present Hope for the Holidays. Jeff Okuda gives his financial support, time, and love for the city of Detroit with Chad Johnson and his amazing foundation, Wicked Awesome Wishes. Together, Jeff and Chad have been game planning all year long to make this Christmas one to remember for underprivileged children and their families. Special thanks to Lions players Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tracy Walker, Will Harris, and more, along with Lions alumni Lomas Brown and Joyak Bell, and the awesome people at Lighthouse Coolidge Community Building in Oak Park. Together, we'll make sure every child has new shoes, warm coats, hats, and socks, plus free haircuts to help everyone feel their best. And don't forget Woodward Sports' Braylon Edwards, Ryan Armani, and Darren McCarty will be there too. Hope for the holidays from Jeff Okuda and Wicked Awesome Wishes.
It's year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff a Studio, and it's here. We are collecting new unwrapped toys and stuffing our studio. As you can see behind me, I have the sled. Our studio, so we can hardly fit in it. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we continue to stuff our studio. While you're out shopping, make sure you grab one extra toy and drop it off here at the studio off 15 Mile in Woodward in Birmingham. We will be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for continuing to keep the toys safe.
I love it. I love it. I love it. We are back 9:31 on a beautiful Friday morning. Thank you to everybody who joins us. As always, woodwardsports.com live, the morning show every day, 8 to 10 a.m. If you don't get a chance to catch us live, you can always watch it back on woodwardsports.com. You can always watch it back by downloading the podcast, whether it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you choose to listen to. We're available on audio as well.
Do you want to see some toys we got?
Sure.
Okay. We've got some classic Connect 4. Yep. Do you know what this game is, Adam? We're gonna test you a lot over the next week to make sure you know what these are.
I have played Connect 4 in my life.
Okay,
yes.
That's good. We got a second Connect 4.
Okay.
Should I get some other ones?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't plan to be on the same box.
Hey, shout out to the wonderful lady who brought all these gifts in. Brought a ton of game boards in.
15 seconds.
Yep. I know, Fish.
And there's tons of bags here. She just dropped them off. And Fish is going to preview them now.
All right, Fish. Let's see the toys.
All right, 15 seconds later.
What else we got?
I'm hoping you know what this is.
Adam, you got to know.
Sorry. Do you know what this is?
No.
Come on.
You don't?
I've never played Sorry.
Okay, well, you never played it, but do you know what it is?
No.
Okay. Well, here we go.
All right, let's get disappointed again. Here's
Trouble.
Trouble. This game.
No.
Adam, did you stare at a wall like for a long time? Like, how did you? What do you do? Like, what?
I was playing outside most of my childhood.
Well,
what do you want from me?
I think we all played outside, but
and then I played video games when I got home. I didn't play board games outside of Monopoly, Connect 4, and Risk. I used to play Risk back in the day.
Oh, I love Risk. Okay, so I respect that. Knows what Risk is.
All right, what else we got, Fish?
Have you played this one?
Don't you guys give me shit in the fucking chat. All right, relax.
Chuck says Adam lived under the stairs.
I've played Clue before. I've heard of it. All right.
Here we go. That's good.
All right. Everyone, shut the hell up.
Hey, Adam.
Come on, Fish. Keep going. Let's wrap this up.
I mean, there's a second clue.
Yeah, I don't care about the second Clue game.
There's a second Sorry. Should I grab a few more?
Oh, whatever you want. I'm good.
Well, I wonder what
Do you have any other games from my childhood that I apparently missed?
Here, we'll just grab all these.
Anything else?
Okay, We have this Fisher
I don't know what the hell that is.
I'm sure you didn't play that.
I don't know what the hell that is. Or just put it down.
That's fine.
I don't care about dinosaurs. Put it down.
You don't care about this?
Nah, whatever.
Flexible dinosaur.
Put it down.
Flexible.
And then we have
What else?
this is a classic. I hope you played this. This is a classic.
Hungry
Hippos I have played. Yes.
Okay, thank goodness.
Yeah, that would have been disappointing if I didn't know that.
By the way,
you done?
Adam,
What else do we
I
got?
got an important question for you in the comments that I just absolutely love. Chuck says, Adam lived under the stairs like Harry Potter.
Look,
you have a little
you guys say what you want.
You have a little room under the stairs.
Listen, I enjoyed my childhood. Played a lot outside. Played a lot of video games. Played some board games that I thought were fun. I didn't play any of these shit ones that you guys are yelling at me for. Yes, I've played Uno, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
I've played Uno.
You played Monopoly.
I've played Monopoly.
Okay, all right.
And is there anything I'm missing right now?
No, you're checking some boxes.
What is
you're
it?
Fine.
Booner says Adam still plays Hungry Hippos.
He's just lying. He does.
Fuck you, Booner. All right, moving on. What else we got, Fish?
You want more? Okay,
Yes.
I brought some more here.
All right, what do you
My
got?
room's gonna be full of toys. This is flexible construction.
I don't care. Board games, not fucking toys.
Well, okay, if you haven't played this, I might slap you.
No, I haven't played Yahtzee. I've heard of it, but I haven't played it.
Okay, at least you're.
At least I've heard of it.
Yeah, at least
we're playing this.
Of course, I've played Uno.
Okay. There's a few of them. I'm a Barbie world. Yeah,
All right.
Barbie
Okay, we're
world.
done with Fish. Mute his mic and fucking turn off his camera. I have to see that shit on the show again.
Fish.
I'm
There's a
gonna go in
double
there
in
and beat
here.
the fuck out of you. Get off his camera. We're done. That's it.
Fish, you didn't play with those, did you?
Huh? I never played
Fish used to shove Barbies up his ass. We're not talking to Fish right now.
You never
Moving on.
jammed to the
Moving
Barbie
on.
jingle?
Moving on.
I'm a
Moving
Barbie
on.
world.
Mute your mic, you fucking ass.
Let's go party,
Mute your
let's go
mic.
party. Ooh, ooh.
Mute your mic. I'm glad there are people in the chat that respect the game of Risk. I don't know if any of you used to play the Hasbro version on the computer.
Oh,
that
yeah,
used
I
to be
did.
the shit. That was a family night for us in my house. It would be my dad and my brother and any of his friends or uncles that would come over, and we would like go ham. My go-to move, which would always work, would be to conquer Australia first. And I learned that from my dad, though. I can't take the credit.
Yeah.
Conquer Australia first, work your way up.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Shut the hell up, Fish. All right, moving on. Moving on. We got a few minutes. Let's talk about Jared Goff. Last time played against Robert Saleh. Against the Niners, he threw for a career low 78 yards. Jeff, are you concerned Robert Saleh might have this quarterback figured out?
No, I mean, I'm not. When this doesn't take away from what Robert Saleh is defensively. He's a guru. He's very good on that side of the ball. But if we just look at the stats, and you brought up the 78 yards, which he did back in 2019. It was October 13th at home. The Rams take on the 49ers. He was 13 of 24 for 78 yards. But then he played him a week later. Went to San Francisco, 27 of 46, 323 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, again, knowing Goff's weaknesses isn't some a lot of, like Bill Belichick, for example. He knows how to shut down Goff, and he did that very well on the road. But still, for Robert Saleh, I do think, yes, he's going to know Goff's weaknesses. He's very familiar with Goff. He was in the same division as a defensive coordinator. That's no question. And he has the talent with the Jets right now to be a top 5 defense. So clearly, they're going to have answers. But to say because he played one game poorly against Saleh, that Saleh has all the answers, and we're just going to completely disregard the week later where he had 300 yards against him. I mean, it doesn't tell the full story. So Goff is a quarterback where typically he is middle of the pack. He's a top 10 quarterback this year, but you're going to see those games. He's going to struggle. Then you're going to see these great performances. So, no, it doesn't change anything for my approach or my thought process for this game this weekend, Adam. I mean, if Goff struggles, okay, great defense. You don't want him to struggle. It's not ideal, but I can also see Goff playing really well. So, no, I'm not going to take the one game of 78 yards passing and hold it against him. I'm not going to do that.
Fair enough. Well, look, we wasted our whole segment talking about Fish and Barbies up his ass, so we're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll get to my best bets of the weekend, and then we'll recap this Lions-Jets game and give our predictions on what's going to happen. That and so much more coming up. But before we go, Jeff, I got to tell everybody at home about our good friends over at Cousins Maine Lobster, where, you know what? I hit Kittle first-time touchdown, or excuse me, I hit Kittle last night to score the first touchdown of the game. So lunch may be on me today, depending where this truck is. So scan the QR code. What are you waiting for? Visit cousinsmainelobster.com. Check out where their food truck is. and go enjoy yourself. The main roll, I had the lobster tacos, the clam chowder soup. As always, I'm going to repeat it because it's my favorite thing on the menu. I love, love, love it. Check them out. Again, the website's there. Scan the QR code and enjoy yourself on a Friday for an absolute treat of a lunch.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff a Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward in Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff a Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
As chilly weather approaches, Big Boy's got the perfect comfort meals for you. Try our hearty classic meatloaf or our creamy Cajun chicken Alfredo. These will be sure to leave you craving for more. How about breakfast? Our stuffed potato pancakes are back with our Lumberjack, Blockbuster, and Santa Fe Garden. These potato pancakes will definitely fill you up. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, come stock up on the perfect comfort meal today. We'll see you soon at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been, I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
All I want for Christmas is a Lions win, the Pistons in the playoffs, and the Red Wings to dominate. I don't ask for much.
I'm asking for a punt! A single punt!
And I've been really good this year.
Liar!
Oh, you're so naughty. You're so naughty.
Woodward Sports.
Official meat supplier of the Woodward Sports Network, and no, that is not fish. It is the Butchery and Chef Dave. Call 248-682-COWS. That's 248-682-COWS. The Butchery. Meats, eats, and treats. Sandwiches to die for. Wagyu meats, artisan breads. All inspired by the legendary Chef Dave. Or visit them at thebutcherysl.com.
I do enjoy eating fish and chips.
I enjoy you shutting the hell up.
Fish is always packing meat.
Well,
no matter what day it is.
All right. Let's get ahead of ourselves.
Good luck.
Shut the hell
You'll see a lot of me for tour
We went 3-2 last weekend. I apologize. You still made money if you listened to the bets, but I like to strive for 4-1 at a minimum. So we're going to go for that today. We're going to start in the World Cup on Saturday.
Ooh.
Or excuse me, on Sunday morning. I apologize. Okay. Sunday morning World Cup action. Buy Argentina right now. Don't miss out on minus 114. Which means you buy them for $114, you win $100. I'm betting Argentina to lift the cup.
But don't you not want them
not to win in the first 90 minutes, but to lift the cup. Just the overall winner, regardless if it's penalties, extra time, or the game. I'm going Argentina minus 114.
You better
That's
be
the
sure
play
you
for
chose,
me.
You chose
I think
the right
Argentina
bet.
win the World Cup. Then we're going to go to the NFL. Give me the Minnesota Vikings minus 3.5. Home against the Indianapolis Colts. I do not think the Colts give them much problems. That's on a Saturday. We'll go with the Vikings to cover against the Colts. We'll go to Saturday night where the Miami Dolphins. You're giving me a touchdown with the Dolphins? I'm taking it. I don't think the Dolphins win this game, but I am taking them on the spread. Give me the 7 points. Give me the Dolphins. I think the Bills win 31-27. Dolphins cover the 7 points. Anytime touchdown score. Hell, throw it to the side. Forget it. We're going to do a 2-touchdown score this week.
Boy.
To score 2 touchdowns, lock him up now, Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce to score 2 touchdowns against the Houston Texans. And then we're going to wrap it up with, every week I do this, home underdogs. Just below 70% this year, and I'm loving it. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers money line, home against the Bengals. So if you want to parlay it, Argentina to lift the cup, the Vikings to cover the spread, the Dolphins to cover the spread, Kelce to score 2 touchdowns, and the Buccaneers to win outright money line home against the Cincinnati Bengals as underdogs.
I don't mind it.
Those are the bets. And now let's get to the game of the weekend. Playoff implications for both teams. Now more important than ever. Jets, Lions. Jeff, who do you got and why?
Oof, this one's tough. I've been brewing this one up all week. I'm going to go with the Lions. I think the Lions win this game. Although it is a matchup of good on good, I do think the defense for the Lions will continue to play well enough for a subpar Jets offense to be able to outscore them. Now, the big question, and we kind of alluded to it already, is Jared Goff not turning the ball over. Can the defense create turnovers like they've been doing? There's a lot of things that need to happen, but overall, I got faith in this offense to keep up what they've been doing. They won back-to-back games on the road. I think they get another one this week. Give me the Lions, and I'll go 24-20. Lions win.
24-20 Lions win. I love it. I'm going to go a little less, though, on the points. Robert Saleh is going to have this defense ready. They're going to be in the game the whole way. I just don't trust their offense to get the job done. I am very nervous about the Jets. I am. I do think the Jets have a chance. Not only a chance, I think they can win this game pretty easily. I can see it.
I can see it for both sides.
If I'm giving you a percentage, 51% I'm leaning Lions, 49% Jets. That's how even I think this is. Having said that, I'm going to go Lions to pull it off barely. 19-16. Lions pull it off on a late field goal. Badgley for the win. They improve to 7-7, and we get fucked up on Monday, and I can't wait. Can't wait.
We'll break in some of those cigars our guy Paul.
Oh, that's right. We got to smoke those cigars. We got to smoke some hookah, do some blow off the mic. We got a lot of stuff to do. Fish, who's winning this game?
I'll go Lions. 31-28.
Oh, a high-scoring game on the road.
Yeah, a bit of a high-scoring affair.
Look at you, Fish.
Hey, our Jets.
I got the Lions hat on. Go Lions.
Jets fan, a.k.a. a big supporter of the show, a friend of the show, Abe.
Yeah.
Says Jets win 2017. I can also see that. I mean, this game I think is going to be grimy. I don't see a high-scoring game here.
The only way I'm surprised on Sunday is if the Lions win big or they lose big.
I would agree. And I could see
a close loss or a close win is what I'm expecting.
And I could see a big win. You talked about the Jets. I can see them beating. I could see the Lions beating the Jets. I mean, I can see it from both
depending
sides.
Depending on how the offense plays, right?
Absolutely.
Depending on the Jets' defense. But I don't know. I see a lot of problems with the Jets and what they pose as problems for the Lions. Yes. It's going to be a tough game, man. Yeah. Can you get the run game established? Can Jared Goff give you 60-70% of what he's been giving you at Ford Field? A lot of questions. But that's the best part of the NFL. You play the games, and we find out after. So I'm excited. It's going to be a great game. We'll take a quick pause. When we get back, you know what time it is.
Oh, you know.
Mailbag time. Get your questions in the chat. Jeff and I will answer them. If you missed the bets, I'll go over them one more time. Argentina to lift the cup.
Go Messi.
Minnesota to cover the spread. The Dolphins to cover the spread. Kelsey to score 2 touchdowns on Sunday. And the Buccaneers home underdogs against the Bengals. Give me the Bucs as the home dogs. That's what I'm going with. We'll take a break. When we get back, mailbag time. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at the Sports Marketing Agency.
The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com for more information.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
3 NBA championships. championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Jeff Iafrate here. Let me tell you about our friends at Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck, because it is the home of the original football bowling game. 2 to play for $12, the unlimited open play, or you could pay $120 for a lane reservation for up to 10 people. $2 Mr. Beer Machine, full bar. Check it all out. FullingWarehouse.com.
All right, we are back here on the Morning Woodward Show live. Mailbag time.
Oh.
Let's go to the people. Jeff, with all the media love the Lions got this week, how has this game not been flexed into a prime time slot?
Well, I think it's part of it believing if it's real or not. The Lions have been winning games, but I think next year you're going to see the Lions, if they do what we believe they can do, which is contend for the NFC North and win it, then I think they'll be, on prime time a lot more. But this season, you're 1-6. And now you're on the brink of making the playoffs. It's tough. But I agree with you. I think they're good enough. They're entertaining enough to be on primetime. Slot them, man. Let's get some Lions in here.
All right, if the Lions win by 2 scores, can we stop the Goff replacement talk? I don't think anybody's talking about replacing Goff right now, Todd.
Yeah, I don't.
I think the question is simple. You are likely going to have a top 5 pick. You will not have it next year. Todd, I think most of us agree they're going to contend or win the North next year. It's developing into becoming that good of a team right now with how they look. So,
right.
If not now, win. And it's okay if you wait. And I've used the Alex Smith comparison since day one. Go win divisions. Go win playoff games. And when the time is right, you'll make the move for your quarterback. That would be the ideal scenario for me with Jared Goff. I don't think it goes away because he just isn't a franchise guy. But that's not a bad thing. It's okay, and I don't think bridge is an insult. Alex Smith was a bridge quarterback for the Chiefs, and he was winning divisions, he was winning playoff games, but there are limitations. And can you, as a head coach in a defense and an offense, overcome those limitations? Most can't. Most can't.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where we're at. Goff, to me, is the starter for the next 2 years.
Yeah, you got to, and this is what frustrates me, too, is I think people group like the Goff narrative. Take every show as their different opinions, right? For the morning show, we've been supportive of Goff. We've pitched the idea of drafting a quarterback, but we've gave Goff his flowers. I mean, we talked about Goff when he first got here and how much flexibility he provides the Detroit Lions. So there's no Goff hate. Just pitching the idea of drafting a quarterback isn't hating on Goff. It's just for the future. I mean, financially it makes sense, but Goff's playing really well. There's no reason to draft a quarterback right now, unless you're taking a flyer. Mailbag, Adam, did you play Oregon Trail on the computer? Second question, did you play backyard
football? That was the game
football?
back in the day.
This question's for you. Did you play backyard football or backyard baseball? If so, who was your first pick who wasn't a pro in kid form?
I'll answer for him. That was a great.
I didn't play
Oregon
backyard
Trail
football
was a
or
great
baseball. The game, right?
Yeah.
No, I never played those games.
Appreciate it.
I never played those at all.
Pablo Sanchez.
Sanchez.
Abe says, Adam, how are we celebrating our victory Monday?
Oh, you mean the Lions? Oh, well, let me tell you. Cigars, hookah. If the Jets win, it's going to be still a great show, but, I look forward to smoking. Though my doctor doesn't advise it, but fuck them.
Well, most doctors don't. People do it anyway.
Thank you, Fish. Common sense here. Yeah, thank you. Captain Obvious.
I should be at home watching darts right now. Instead, I'm looking at you and Jeff.
Did you just say darts?
Yeah, the World Championship of Darts started last night. It's going great. They got the...
You're joking.
Yeah, it's on right now.
You watch guys throw darts at a board.
It's electric. They got people in Santa... Yes, they have, like, UFC-type walk-ons. You know the UFC where they're, like, doing this and high-fiving people? They have those type walk-ons.
So...
Electric. They have their own theme music that they walk up to. I don't know what yours is. Yours might be like Migos or whatever, Lil Wayne.
Fish, I swear to God,
Kanye
sometimes
West.
you make me question my life.
You have to watch it. It's like one of the best things you'll watch.
No, never. I'd rather get pegged and be shot and killed than watch darts.
Okay, well, it's electric. They got like 10,000 people watching these two grown men throw some darts at a board.
They don't have anything better to do.
Adam, your top... Adam,
they drink
shut
beer.
the fuck
They get
up,
hammered.
Fish. Shut the fuck up.
Dang.
Adam, rank your top man crushes. Robert Saleh, Jimmy G, J.J. McCarthy. Wow. In order? We're going to go Robert Saleh, J.J. McCarthy, and then Jimmy G. 1, 2, and 3.
Tim asks, who scores for the Lions on Sunday? I think you'll see Jamal get back in there. I think Jamal scores, but it's going to be, I think the run game is going to be something I pay the most attention to. So hopefully you can get Swift or Jamal in there. That's going to be a big one for me.
All right. I would have, how big of a role would you like J-Mo to have this game, Jeff?
I think every game you've seen, I mean, from his first game, playing limited snaps, the following game, playing a little more snaps. I think you're going to see a lot more J-Mo this week. Now, I don't know the snap count he's going to be on or what they're going to limit him to, but hopefully you see him out there a lot. I would expect and I would hope for 4 to 5 targets for Jameson. That would be ideal. Throw him the ball. See if he can make plays. Get him in space. Get him a pass on a screenplay. I mean, there's going to be opportunities. They just got to find it. And I think he might be one of those X factors this week. We'll see.
All right. Second question, Jeff. Do you think Jamil Hill will in January down in Brazil? Wait, what? Will win? Excuse me.
Oh, Jamal Hill.
Yeah. I think he could do it, but I love Glover. He's a dog.
I think you phrased it perfectly. Glover's a dog. But I love Jamal Hill. He's hilarious. He trains out here. Listen, I'm going with Jamal, and he's in enemy territory. I love watching him fight, man. Give me Jamal.
All right, Adam, how's fantasy football playoff picture looking for you guys? Well, let's start with the Woodward playoff picture. Jeff, who you playing? Flannel Sam in the semifinal.
I'm playing Flannel Sam in the semifinal.
You had Kittle going last night. No, CMC.
Yeah, it's CMC and Tyler Lockett.
Wow. Oh.
And he had DK Metcalf. I'm currently whipping his ass. I think it's like 65-35, whatever it is, to win.
Oh,
so we'll
percentage-wise.
Yeah, percentage. We'll see.
Well, I'm playing Spencer. He's projected to win right now. He had the San Fran defense. So we'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to let Spencer win this week. I might bench Josh Allen, Travis Kelce, and Justin Jefferson. Give him an early Christmas present. I'm joking.
You ass.
I'm joking. I do have a question for all of you, though. In my big money league, this is the lineup I'm rolling with, going into the quarterfinals this week. If the weather clears up in Buffalo, I'm starting Tua. If not, I'm going with Trevor Lawrence. So that's the first one. Mm-hmm. Secondly, it'll be a quarterback, Amon-Ra, DeAndre Hopkins, Jonathan Taylor. I think I'm going to start Alvin Kamara, even though he's been a fucking bum.
Who do they play?
Atlanta. I know.
Travis
Kelce. And then I need to debate between starting Najee Harris, Terry McLaurin, or Ezekiel Elliott at flex. That's the tough one. And right now I'm starting Zeke, who's been a consistent 17 points a week for the last 4
And who do they
weeks.
play?
Jacksonville.
And honestly, yeah. I mean, Najee, they're going to run the ball a lot, but he gets like 2 yards per carry.
Najee against Carolina, I don't like.
Yeah, I don't like it either. So I'd go Zeke. I'd go Zeke. He splits the carries with Pollard, but still, I would roll with him.
All right, let's see what other questions we have in the stat. Definitely starting Kamara, Lawrence. Where does it come? Lawrence, I can't start versus Jacksonville. Yeah, I know, man. I might pick up Tom Brady. Should I pick up Tom Brady against the Bengals and hope he has at least a 22, 24-point game?
Yeah.
Because he's been a consistent 20
I told you, they can't run the ball.
I just need the points. Tua, I'm scared as hell. Lawrence, I'm not sure. His toe, his knee, and then there's the Dallas defense, that pass rush. And then there's Brady against Cincinnati, but it's at home at least. And I know Godwin, and I'm going up against Godwin anyway. Yeah. So, maybe that cancels out a little bit. I might pick up Brady.
They have the worst rushing attack in the NFL. They're going to have Brady probably throw the ball at least 40 times. So, I would probably lean Brady as well, to be honest.
You guys are saying no on Brady. Let me read his game log so you guys understand where I'm coming from. His last 4 games have been 20, 22, 21, and 12.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know Scary Terry I know McLaurin put up a big week. That's why I'm not going to play him. I don't think he goes off again. I don't. Tua and Lawrence are better options. Tua going to be bad in the cold and snow. Yeah, I know, guys. I know. I'm struggling with this. The other free agent quarterbacks, by the way, that I could pick up are Ryan Tannehill, who I won't.
Ooh.
Derek Carr against New England. I don't love it.
Ooh.
White against Detroit.
Ooh.
I don't like it. Aaron Rodgers against the Rams. There's nothing much here. There really isn't anything for me to work with.
No.
You guys are saying Trevor Lawrence for the most part. I know. All right. That's fair. I appreciate your guys' input, as always.
Yeah, it's between... It's Brady or Lawrence. And I'd lean Brady, personally. but
Man.
it's not my team, so you got to roll with your decision.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Walter asks, are we concerned with Goff in cold weather? Not a huge sample, but not great. And that narrative about players in cold weather, I think that's a majority of quarterbacks. I don't think anybody's comfortable or got their greatest in cold weather. Jared Goff played in L.A. for a long time. He's been in Detroit, plays in a dome. Of course, it's new to him. But at the same time, I mean, it is what it is. I need more of a sample size. So I think, Jay said it best when he was on earlier. This is a good test for Goff. I mean, you played in Chicago already. You didn't have a bad game. We'll see what he does at New York.
Just so everybody's aware, by the way, about Tom Brady, in my league, touchdowns, whether it's running or throwing from a quarterback, are 6 points. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. We're going to call it a show. Thank you to everybody who joined us today. It's been a great week. We appreciate all the support. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel, and you're following us, of course, on social media. We appreciate it as always. For Jeff, myself, Fish, and Alex, all of you have a great weekend. We're out of here. Enjoy, hopefully, what will be a Victory Sunday, so we can enjoy a Victory Monday together. Jeff will be live on the pregame show Sunday morning as always.
Yes, I will.
We're out of here. Take care. Enjoy the weekend. Fish, fuck yourself.
Not going to do that. Thank you. Go watch World Cup Hiding Out and Dark.